All right. Are we ready to roll, everyone? Yes. All right. Well, I just want to say welcome, welcome, welcome everyone to this event for Puppy Kitty New York City. I am Karen Dundee Smith, and I am the founder and one of the directors of the Animal Communication Collective. And we'll all take a moment to introduce ourselves in a moment. But I just want to give you guys those of you who don't know who we are or who this is your first time with us this evening, I just want to give you, excuse me, a little background on the ACC and who we are, as well as give a little shout out to the two crazy cat ladies who are our special guests this evening. Wave your hands, Adrian and Jay, for a moment, and we'll get you then to your intros as well. This is a big, big deal to have them here. So the Animal Communication Collective is a group of 30 plus professionally certified women who are all animal communicators. We all went through the same school together and graduated with the same rigorous program and testing and certification. We came together right at the beginning of the pandemic, when I actually had a crazy download from my cat Hockey Puck, who's in spirit. And basically, long story short, we were at a dinner after a funeral, and my husband asked me, "What the heck are you doing with this new animal communication certification? How are you gonna use it?" And I felt Hockey Puck come in, and he just dumped on me, "You need to be a voice for the animals. You need to help as many animals as possible. There's so many stuck in rescues and shelters that need people. If they knew what we had to say, it would make it easier for them to adopt us and keep us as family." I brought this idea to my amazing colleagues at the school that we went to, and everyone jumped in. Meredith, my co-director, wave your hand, Meredith. She's here tonight. She helped me from the beginning, as well as Phoebe Hoffman, who's here, to really put this group together and to put us on the map and to start creating events and helping rescues and shelters all around the country doing events like this. We are 100% volunteer. All of the money goes to the people that we are helping, the rescues and shelters that we are helping. And this is our way of being able to give back and support the animals who have asked for our help. So we are so, so glad that you're all here. And that's a little bit about the ACC. So I'm going to hand it over to Megan to say hello, talk a little bit about Puppy Kitty, and take it from there, Megan.
Thank you, Karen, so much. And thank you all for being here. It really means the world to me. It's supporting our mission at Puppy Kitty New York City. And in case you don't know about us or me, I'm Megan. I run Puppy Kitty. I'm the president of the organization. And we're a cat-focused rescue here in Queens, New York. We have a heavy focus on complex medical cases and rehabilitating street cats. So we're definitely a rescue full of cats. We do have a few dogs and bunnies and guinea pigs and whatever crosses our path, but we're definitely a cat rescue for the most part. And I'm excited for you guys all to be here. I had a reading for my cat Figaro and it was so amazing. And I hope that you guys really enjoy this event. And I'm so thankful that you took the time tonight to be here.
So we also want to remind people about the raffles. So while we're doing readings tonight, there are chances to win private readings with us, as well as some amazing prizes with Adrian and Jay, the two crazy cat ladies. So as you're watching us unfold these stories and these readings, if you haven't bought a raffle yet and you're like, "Oh, I think I want to try to win a private reading because I like what's going on," the raffle ticket portion of the ticket sales will be open for a little while, and we'll let you know when it's closing. It's going to close about halfway through the event. I would love to hand it over to Adrian and Jay just to say hi really quickly, so you know who our special hosts are for our after party.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, guys.
Yeah, we just want to say thank you guys all so much for supporting Puppy Kitty New York City. We've been following them for a while, and we really just love this. And our beautiful friends from the Animal Communication Collective. We've been doing this, what, like this is like our fourth,
I don't know.
maybe
Is
our
that a couple
fourth.
weeks?
like fundraising event that we've been to with you guys, and you're just
Yeah, we're just grateful
like,
to be here.
yeah.
Megan, we're so grateful for all you do, and to everyone that is supporting this beautiful organization. We're so grateful that you guys are here as well.
Thank you, guys. And also, if you haven't gotten a ticket to the after party, that's where you're going to get to talk to them, the ladies, about all things cats, and they have an announcement about a new product coming out as well. Megan, what do you want to share about about being recorded and stuff?
Um,
You want my help?
yeah.
Okay, so if your camera is on, that's your sign to us that you are open for us to intuitively select you for a reading this evening. If your camera is off, we're going to assume that you want your privacy and that you're just here to watch the show and you don't want to be on camera or be picked. If you're on camera, not only are you allowing us to potentially pick you for a reading, the animals will be telling us who to pick, but you're also being recorded to be a part of the event, which will go up on our YouTube channel so that people can watch this again at a later date. So just FYI about that as well. Okay, so let's start with introing the team super quick. Like I said, I'm Karen Dendy Smith. I am the founder of the ACC. I'm in Boston, Massachusetts. I also have a background in Chinese energy medicine, particularly Pangu Shenggong. I also am a soul level intuitive coach, which means I work with spirit guides. I also am part of a podcast, the Animal Communication Podcast, with my co-host Meredith Tollison and Julie Heert, who's not here tonight. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to tell you. No, that's all. So, also I'm a companion animal doula. So I help animals and people with the process of transitioning onto the other side. So I'm going to hand it over to Meredith to introduce herself.
Hey everybody, I'm Meredith Tollison. I am down here in Tupelo, Mississippi. I have a lot of the same types of experiences as Karen, except for the recovery marketing and branding part, and the Pangu Shenggong. I am a soul level intuitive coach, soul level animal communicator. I also am a little bit of a behavior nerd with a certification in dog training for canine behavior. I do Reiki for animals. And I am a business owner and entrepreneur here in my hometown. I look forward to the day that I can do all of this full time, but unfortunately, I am not there yet. I'm also a companion animal end of life doula. This has become such an important thing. Lately, we're seeing so many people with animals in transition, and we're learning so much about people needing the support that we can offer through a program like that. So I'm a co-director of the Animal Communication Collective. I am one of the hosts of the Animal Communication Podcast, which we're having a lot of fun doing with Karen and our other friend Julie. And I'm thrilled to be here tonight supporting Puppy Kitty New York City. Thank y'all. Paula, off to you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Paula Hooper, and I'm in Rhode Island. I'm a retired math teacher, which sounds pretty far away from being an animal communicator. I also work at the local zoo where I take small animals out and talk to people about them. And I find that being an animal communicator sure helps with the small animals because they have such interesting things to say. The fact that I know a snake that loves to be held up high and is fascinated with shoes is just beyond me. Phoebe, would you like to talk now?
Hi, I'm Phoebe Hoffman. I live in New York City. I do animal communication readings and regular intuitive readings for people that don't want to talk about animals. And right now, I am featured in a documentary called Look Into My Eyes. It is in movie theaters all across the country, and it will be streaming on HBO around January, and somewhere in that time.
Oh, Phoebe, you're so humble. She's fantastic in the movie, you guys. So if you really make a note of it, so you can go see her on HBO Max in January. They only picked 7 intuitive people from New York City, and 5 were super highlighted, and one of them is Phoebe, and she's the only animal communicator in the film. So you have to see this movie. It's super cool.
I'll drop a link into the chat.
Yes, we'll
Thank
drop a
you.
link in the chat. So we're just going to quickly send it over to Shay and Jody to say hi before we get going. Shay?
Hi all, I'm Shay. I will be your tech support for tonight. I'm also a soul-level animal communicator in Los Angeles and looking forward to this.
So, and Jody.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jody Jacobs. I live on the tip of Long Island, and I am not an animal communicator, but I am their ambassador, which means I reach out to rescues like Puppy Kitty and see if they want to work with us. And I'm also a volunteer at Puppy Kitty, and my beautiful boy, Oscar, I have to show a picture on my phone because he won't come up, of course, came from Puppy Kitty, New York City. So I'm very happy to be here at this event.
I love that connection, Jody. I love that Oscar is from Puppy Kitty.
Me too. Maybe he'll make an appearance tonight. We can
too.
hope.
And so, okay, how does this work? A lot of people ask us just really quickly. Animals communicate telepathically all the time. They are used to sending emotions, feelings, waves of pictures, thoughts, ideas to each other and to us. It's why sometimes we think, why is my cat hungry? And we go downstairs and they're waiting by the bowl. Or you wonder why the dog and the deer are best friends, because animals communicate telepathically all the time. They don't have the same barriers we do, where they haven't lost the capacity to use their sight and sound and feelings at the clair level. We are the ones who have dulled that down. So part of what we learned was to amplify ourselves, open ourselves up, get back into a lighter frequency so that we could share, send and offer images and feelings to them. And then we wait and receive, and they send them back because they are so appreciative that we are in a space where we're open to sharing and receiving. So that's what our schooling did for us, is that it taught us to raise ourselves back up into that lighter frequency again. And so that's what we're going to be doing for you tonight. When we ask you a question, we're going to be asking your animal to share from their perspective what they want you to know about the questions that you have for them. And Meredith, what are we looking for?
So we're not looking for much information from you at all at the beginning. If we intuitively select you from the audience for a reading, here are the things we need to know. We need to know your animal's name, gender or pronouns, species, and whether they are alive or in spirit, and one simple question that you would like to ask of them. We request that you make this an open-ended question, not are you okay? We're not looking for yes and no. We're looking for an opportunity to have the animal provide for us the information. And that's the reason we don't want any more than that. We don't want to have a background story or a bunch of information about a particular illness or condition or situation. We want to be certain that the information we're receiving is coming directly from the animals. So please do not, I'll add this, please do not post your questions in the chat. We'll be selecting directly from the audience. We'll be providing information for you in the chat. But aside from, maybe a few little follow-up comments, we're not really monitoring that for questions or audience selections. Anything I missed, Karen?
No, I think you got it. I think we're ready to roll. Yes? Ready, team?
Good for me.
All right. So Meredith and I are going to go first, and we're going to pick an animal person, animals human from the audience based on their guidance. And I have to be honest, I have been drawn to you, Karen Lubeck, for a while. Maybe it's because my name's Karen and your animal's going, hey, Karen, see Karen, 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 Karen. So are you up for this?
Can
All
you
right, awesome.
waggle your hand and let me see where you are so I can.
I
go
unmuted
ahead.
myself. Is that okay?
Yes, please. That's
Perfect.
perfect.
I am so up for it.
Fabulous. All right, Karen, tell us what we need to know. So what is the name of your animal?
My animal's name is Lily.
Lily or Louie?
Lily, Lily.
Okay. Female.
Female. She's a cat.
Cat. Is she alive or in spirit?
She's alive. She's right next to me here.
Fabulous. Oh, she had a very loud voice. And okay, so what is the question you have for Lily?
I would like to know if there's anything I can do to make her happier here with me, and specifically around her boundaries about being picked up or held.
Okay. So so Meredith, I think, how about if we kind of word that question for Lily as what does she want to share about what would make her happy around her boundaries? Does that make
So
sense to
about
you,
her
Karen?
life here,
Life.
specifically about her life with me.
Okay. Okay, let's start there. Let's ask her what does she want us to know that would help you understand what would make her happier. Because, well, I'm getting the sense she really is happy, but let's see what she has to say. Okay, so just give us a second. Invite in Lily.
I'm getting bombarded already, Karen, if you
Yep,
don't care
you
if I
go
just
for
jump
it.
right in.
Yep.
Okay, first of all, the question of making her happy. She's saying, we're all trained in soul level animal communication, which means they bring in the lessons that they're working with their people, with their humans. So she's telling me, this is mom's worry about whether or not I'm happy. I'm fine. So, mom, it's time to step back and just accept that happiness is mine and you don't have to control it. And that's what the boundaries are for. There's a very specific boundary. I do it. She's like she's showing me herself like a toddler who wants to wear mismatched socks to preschool. And she's like, I'll do it my way. I'm fine. We're all good. I respect your boundaries. You respect my boundaries. And who cares if my socks don't match? Stop worrying about, wow, she's very direct to me. Don't worry about what other people think. Wear the socks you want to wear. The rainbow ones with the little holes for the toes, wear those if you want to. Nobody is as worried about the socks as you think they might be. Does that make any sense to you, Karen?
Yes.
And to add to that, so Lily came in and she said, yes, I know my name is Lily, but I am as fabulous as a full bloom rose. And she showed me this rich red rose with all the fragrance and the intricacies, she's telling me, of the rose petals. Like, look at how intricate they are, just like my personality, she says. And so she's saying, her boundaries go up when you become hovercraft mom. So I'm seeing you like hovercraft mom. And when you get into a place of like wanting to make sure she's okay, she's telling me you have very strong energy, kind of like her, Karen,
Yeah.
where your energy comes forward and she's like, whoa, mom, hovercraft, stop. Because she also tells me when you're the most relaxed and chilling out, she'll come up to you and want to hang out with you. And you're noticing like, why are you hanging out with me now, but you wouldn't before when I really wanted you to? And it's because the balance of energy was off between the two of you because you have such a strong, powerful energy, which she says helps you in the world, but not in cat world. Does this make sense to you, Karen?
It does. Yes,
Yeah.
it does.
So there's a little bit of this mirroring modeling behavior going on. She is modeling for you, standing up for yourself, creating your boundaries, putting yourself out there in a way that you will be respected, you will be protected, you will be comfortable in your own space out there in the world. But she's also mirroring a bit of, did I say that right? Mirroring a bit of this for you, going, yeah, but you don't do that with me. Here with me, we need a little bit more of a trust and mutual respect relationship. So stand strong, be yourself. But with me, when you're doing that, I'm not going to be snuggly, cuddly with you. I want you to let your guard down with me, where you know you're safe, supported, and protected. Be this thing publicly, be this thing with me, but respect and honor the similarities and the differences. And now, mind you, I'm not saying go out there and fake it, but protect yourself when you're out in the world, but allow yourself to be completely open when you're with those that you trust and honor and respect and that feel the same to you. Does that make sense?
Yes,
Ooh, it
yes.
just made me feel like I'm sweating a little bit. I feel it in my body.
It must be my, intensity about this.
Yeah.
It was a
She,
big day for us today.
oh, was it?
Yeah. I don't want to interrupt you, but
Right.
so let me know if I can say anything more.
Let's see what Karen has to say, and then we'll probably ask you for a
Anything
little bit of
else,
feedback.
Lily?
Oh, you're making me have to pull out my fan.
She tells me that now I don't know what this means. I have that she tells me she was a girl of the streets at one point in her life. Does that make sense to you, Karen?
Well, yes, she was rescued and
Yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
fostered her and adopted
Mm-hmm.
her.
Congratulations, because she's saying she's making me feel like I was a girl of the streets, but not anymore. That's like what I heard. So it makes sense so that you adopted her. She's like, yeah, I don't have to be a girl of the streets anymore. And she also is showing me how she's letting her guard down with you as you let your guard down with her. So it's a really beautiful thing. She's holding you to becoming more energetically soft and vulnerable. It's part of her work with you. So I think you guys are very well suited for each other, the way that she's showing it to me. Two strong women learning how to be vulnerable with each other.
Oh, she's miraculous in my life. Really,
Yeah.
it really added to my happiness.
Oh,
My first cat ever since
yeah.
I'm an adult.
Oh.
So I'm so lucky.
I hope this all made sense to you. And the question, did we get your question answered well enough?
Yes, I think just I don't know if I just need to drop it that she doesn't want to be held and picked up. She's very clear that's not okay with her, and I don't know if it'll ever come, but
on her I just heard her say, I heard her say on my terms.
On my terms.
On my terms. So just give her a little more time.
You can't make me do anything, but if she chooses, she will obviously be much more open to that. Do you agree, Karen?
I agree. On her terms.
Yeah.
Well, she's yeah. I don't know if I can say anything more, if it's okay that I just share.
Well, I think we're done with the reading.
Got it.
So if you want to give us like a
Got it.
minute of feedback, and then we'll wrap this one up.
I just wanted to say that as soon as I heard about this event, I intuitively felt that I would be chosen for a reading and that Lily would have a lot to say. And it just so happens that today's the day that I finally was able to take her to the vet and get her into the carrier. And I've had her for almost 2 years, and it's been a huge, huge deal. And she went into the carrier today just because I put in some very nice catnip. So I didn't have to pick her up to put her in. She just went in. And she's pretty tired now, and she has a cone on her head, and she's resting. But I just wanted to say this was a big day.
Congratulations. Yes, it feels like it was from her perspective too.
So this is another this is a special moment for us too. So thank you so much for choosing us right off the bat too. I just am thrilled.
Oh, you're so welcome.
And to
congratulations.
wrap that up,
You want to see more?
I just hear, ask me my opinion. Ask me my opinion. Don't tell me what I need to feel or think or do. Ask me. And you'll receive that information from her if you're open to that. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you so much. I'm thrilled to hear your connection with her. And thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Thank you. All right, Paula, are you ready to jump in with me?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I am drawn to Denise. Denise, are you open to having a reading this evening? Maybe, maybe not. Thumbs up. I saw teeth gritting, but thumbs up. So, maybe a little torn. Can you unmute yourself? There you go.
There we go.
All right, Denise, what is your animal's name?
Okay, I get several, but the one I'm going to pick is alive, Teriyaki, and she's a domestic short hair. What else were we supposed to tell you? What we want to know?
Teriyaki.
Yeah.
She, cat, alive.
Yeah.
And what is the question you want to ask of Teriyaki?
Is she happy being taken care of outside?
Is she happy outside? What does she need us to know about
She's a stray.
being outside? Okay. How do you feel about that, Paula? Do you have any way you'd like to revise that?
At least it's not a yes or no.
Okay,
So,
I'm
sounds
going to
good.
ask Teriyaki, how do you feel about your current living situation?
That
What would you
sounds
like us
better.
to know about your current living
I
situation?
like that. Yes, that's
Okay.
more open.
So what would you like us to know about your current living situation? There's something she's showing me that she thinks is hilarious. Teriyaki is an awesome name. An awesome name. I was raised by Siamese cats that were named Wonton and something else, Wonton and something else. So I like those names. She thinks something is hilarious. I'm not sure. She feels like a little bit of a clown. She's like, this is as good as it gets. And I'm hearing the old who is it? Glenn Campbell, Don't Fence Me In. Give me land, lots of land where the West commence. She has an issue with confinement that she's showing me. She has an issue not with boundaries, but with having those set for her, with not necessarily having her own choice or free will. She's telling me that she promises to stay near. But if you try and bring her inside, she will find a way out. Does that make any sense to you?
It's kind of funny because she has a tracking device on so that I can see where she goes. But I don't plan on bringing her in.
She's good
And
with
that's a
that.
good,
Maybe I had a brief thought, but
well, she's showing me that that's a very good thing that you don't plan on that because there's no way she wants it. She's also showing me very, very scruffy and tough and don't mess with me. If you don't want trouble, just don't contradict me.
Don't start none, won't be none. Is that what you're hearing?
Yeah. Does that make sense, Denise?
you know what? She makes sure all the other strays that come to dine stay away from her stuff. And she hisses at them and swats at them to go away. But
Oh,
she still allows them to eat.
Well, she's showing me very tough.
She's a
Not
calico.
not mean, but she knows what she wants. She knows what she needs, and she is going to do it.
So she's actually showing me that if there were a way for her to have her own private dining room, she would be fine with that. You know, if there were a cat door in a little screened area or a catio or under the balcony or under the deck or something where once she comes in to eat, if nobody else was allowed in, she would prefer that. She locks the door behind her as she goes in to eat. She doesn't mind them being taken care of also, but she does kind of like her own stuff. She's not necessarily showing me that she's very much willing to share her snacks or her toys or her catnip or anything else. She's like, if I could have just this small space, if you noticed when I came into this space and they stayed out of it, once I'm finished, they can have my scraps. They can have my leftovers. Some
Okay,
sort
that's
of
pretty bizarre.
protection. Sounds like a lot of work.
This is a bougie cat. She has her own house. I bought her a little house. I moved her food over towards her house with her water. She sleeps on her little porch because it's 2-story. And the guys are on the other side. They have
Denise,
Yes,
the only thing she's missing, she does not have that throne.
pretty much, you're right.
Yeah, she deserves that. She thinks she at least treat her as if she has her own throne, even if it's not a physical thing.
We do. She needs to understand we do.
Well, not all the others do.
Well, the boys are going to have to figure it out.
Yeah, she feels very comfortable to me with being outside. She does recognize and appreciate that she's got a fancy house. It's like her Barbie dream house. Um, so it's funny. She's hilarious to me. She's showing me gratitude for the house, gratitude for her bougie lifestyle. And she's like, well, what about that Corvette or the Jeep? Or what about those other things that Barbie had? Um, she is very satisfied, but she's always going to ask for the next thing.
She definitely knows what she wants. And if she hasn't decided yet, she'll decide in a while.
How
Great.
does that feel to you, Denise? Any thoughts about it?
It's just hysterical. I'm glad because this just happened like over a course. She had babies and moved up, we got her kids taken care of. And then I got her fixed because she wasn't going back outside because she was in the house, kind of. She was in the patio and in the enclosed catio I have. So, but she was out there by herself. And once I got her fixed, I let her go out. And then it was hard for me to let her go out, but I did because I already have 6 in, so I don't need no more. So now she's at the front and she tracks pretty much close in the neighborhood. She likes the storm drains, so
she's totally showing me like silk robe and marabou slippers and a cigarette in a long holder. She is a badass Hollywood starlet. She's like, I look so fancy, but I will run you out of here in a heartbeat if I decide to.
Not me, the cats.
The cats, yeah,
yes,
not you.
And she does. She really does. It's amazing. The boys are huge too, and they're like, okay.
Yeah, she's got power. She's got power.
They know their place when she's around.
They do. But yeah. Awesome. I don't know why it's hilarious though.
I don't know. She's just making me laugh so hard. She really is. She's
have those tendencies too.
I find her a little intimidating.
So do those stray boys.
You know what? It's my soul cat, I guess, outside. Because we're alike, I guess, in some ways.
That's awesome. I love it. That feels pretty complete to me, Paula. You okay?
Yes, it does to me also.
Good deal. Let me just let everyone know that this is your last call. Here's your altar call. If you would like to purchase a raffle ticket, there is still time to do that over the next reading or so. We'll drop the link in the chat if you want to go purchase that for the chance to win a free private reading with one of the communicators here tonight. So Paula, you and Phoebe, take it away.
Okay. And Teresa, would you like to have a reading right now? That's perfect. Sure. Okay, and she just unmuted herself. Good. Okay. Teresa, what is the name of your animal?
I'm going to ask about Graybie.
Could you spell that, please?
Yeah, Graybie.
Okay. And male,
female, cat, alive.
Okay.
And lately he's been being kind of a bully to some of the cats in the house, and I'm just curious what's going on with him, like what's with the change in his attitude.
Okay. Let's see. How shall we phrase that, Phoebe? How does it sound to just ask what's with the bullying with the other cats?
I think that sounds pretty good.
That's pretty direct.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I need a moment.
Okay, can I start?
Sure.
Okay, first of all, he's just annoyed. He doesn't like all the other cats all the time. They piss him off. He doesn't always like to share. I mean, he can be tolerant at times, but he just hits a wall. And I'll tell you, there's something connected to you, Teresa, about just hitting a wall of giving, and letting things happen and being pretty nice for the most part, and then almost becoming passive aggressive on some level or resentful and kind of having peaks and valleys of it. I see Graybie as at times really being into being social and wanting a playmate, and at other times it's like, I just want to be left alone. Any movement you do, I'm irritated, and I'm going to be a bit of a douche.
And he can be pretty cranky.
Mhm.
He can be pretty obnoxious, and he enjoys it, and he just absolutely knows what he wants, and he's going to do it, and don't try and mess with him. And these others that are just annoying. And knowing what you want and standing up for it is something he's showing you. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if he goes after somebody, I'll yell at him. He'll come over and he'll hit me. Like, don't tell me what to do. Like,
Yeah, but there's something here that he's modeling for you in a very on a
Yes.
soul level, that it's you avoid conflict and confrontation unless you absolutely have to get involved. And yeah, you're not going to go smack someone in the face, but there has to be an in between. At times you're holding too much back and you're being too accommodating. And he's trying in his way to say to you, no, it doesn't work. Sometimes people need to be put in their place, even if they're offended or they don't understand it. You're a very sensitive person, and you're very concerned about making other people feel badly, even if they're behaving badly. And he's just trying to push you, Teresa, to being more vocal in that sense.
Stand up for yourself, decide what you want, and don't let anyone talk you out of it, because nobody's talking gravy out of it.
does that mean if
Does
I
this
start
make
doing that, he'll calm down, or is he just, this is just how he's
Well,
going?
he's showing you, he's modeling what he would like to see in you. He would like to see you step it up just a little and be more like him. You don't have to go to his extreme. You don't have to go whacking people around. However, every once in a while, you can give him a metaphorical whack. That he would find to be pretty fun.
He's just picky about who's around him. And I don't know, it also just feels like at times it's kind of hard for him to relax because there's a lot of activity, and he always has to keep an eye open. He's hyper alert. He wants to know what everyone's doing at all times.
But please let them do it at a distance. Yeah, just don't bother me. I kind of know the feeling. Just don't bother me. Is this making sense to you, Teresa?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just being a good cat by modeling what he thinks you need. You know, they're all there for what you need.
Yeah. Okay.
Phoebe, do you have anything you'd like to add?
No.
Because Teresa, does it feel like you got an answer to your question?
Yeah, I think so. It's just, it seems like it was more recent, so maybe it's just been building with him. I don't know.
Maybe you're just ready for him to show it to you. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. And
Okay, my turn to pick. I'm going to pick Brooke. Would you like a reading, Brooke?
I would very much love one. That would be awesome. My cat's name, well, I have a lot of animals, but the one I will go with is Zaina, which is Zaina. She's female. She's with us. She's 11. And I am curious what lessons what is she trying to show me in this lifetime? She is like my soul cat, so I feel like she's here for a very specific reason.
Oh, I love this question. Phoebe and I are pairing up for this. And it's so funny, Phoebe, that you picked Brooke, because out of the corner of my eye, if it were me, I was going to pick you, Brooke. So that was so funny that we were like,
Yay! I'm
Yeah.
excited.
All right. So Zaina and soul lessons.
Okay, so do you want
You
can
go.
I start?
Yep.
Okay, so the first thing, Brooke, that's coming up about that you and Zaina actually have a lot in common. And
I mean, you could be connected to lots of animals and you will be going through your life, but Zaina, she's so pure, she's so innocent, but she has a lot of personality and she's a smart ass. She plays hard to get. She's loving, but she has her own agenda. And there's something very much connected in with you because you have a lot of depth, a lot of complexity, but a lot of people in your life, they wouldn't even begin to know all the layers going on with you. You're very good at presenting in a surface kind of way. You can be superficial, you can be kind of just, you can do small talk, but you want to go a lot deeper. And there's something about Zaina when she's living her life with you, you allow her to be independent, you respect her, but you have enough introspection in yourself to let her be exactly what she wants to be, and she wants to be liberated. And there's something about you, it feels like growing up you just had all this pressure and expectation, and you're very able to be conventional and live in the world, but there's this part of you that wants to like be feral and primitive and just do other things and go away from the crowd. And there's something in Zaina that reflects this dream life of yours, or this fantasy of how can I live in the world but kind of be wild at the same time.
Okay, if that makes sense. I am going to add to that because she said, you and I are misunderstood. And I can feel it in my chest. There's a lot of emotion in my chest around the richness of her gratefulness, that you don't misunderstand her, that you understand her. Her complexity is a richness and a beauty that is layered and unfolding. And in the same time, clarity, I also wrote down clarity of self. She asked me to write that down for you because in understanding the richness and complexity of her, you're also understanding you also have that richness and complexity as well. And that's bringing way more clarity of yourself. And she's touching your heart in a way where you'll be a certain way and she'll look at you and you're like, oh, whoa, she understands what I'm feeling at this moment, even though it is deep buried down inside and no one else is seeing it. And there's just I am getting so many chills between the two of you. There's just such a rich love and elegance between the two of you. There's like a dance. She's showing me it's like a dance that goes on between the two of you at a deep, deep heart level that's really beautiful. Does that make sense to you, Brooke?
It does. She is totally my soul kitty. I've had her since I was like 18 years old, and she was recently diagnosed as diabetic and pancreatitis. So like that was a huge hiccup for the year, but I feel like again, like it's like trying to teach me something, and like yeah, me and her are homegirls, so I appreciate that.
There's something,
go ahead, Phoebe.
No, there's something also about, it's like like a lot of people, you want to be very productive. You feel as if you're not doing much, you're being idle or lazy, or you could be doing more. And there's something about Zaina, even with the setback, with the health issues, when you're together, you're not as distracted. You're able to be present with her and just hang out and cuddle and love each other and pay attention to all the purring and the little slight gestures. And it's very important for you because I could see you working really hard and being in the rat race. And she's saying to you, you don't have to live that way. You need to slow down. And you really don't have time for everyone that you're trying to give time to. You have to be picky about who you're giving your energy to, because it's very easy for you to just, it almost feels like you feel at times you're wasting time. You're doing things and you're obligated to doing things that really don't bring you any joy. And she wants to say to you, what are you getting out of it? With me, you know you're getting a lot, and yet we can just be still. And that's an important lesson.
And I'm going to speak to the pancreatitis because as you were talking about it, I started feeling a real knot in my gut, my upper gut, which she's telling me that you also have. And it's in her pancreatitis is due to what she's showing me is it's a highly sensitive emotional being that she is. And the pancreatitis, there is something around this solar plexus chakra that needs opening in the both of you. So I'm getting from her that with the right um, work, energy work, and some deep breathing on your part, and some taking your time and taking things a little more slowly, and also taking a look at what nutrition might be helpful for you as much as her. There's something around you taking some deeper breaths and understanding what the solar plexus chakra actually means to you, so that you can translate it to how the same similar stress is going on in her. You may be able to alleviate some of the knotting up in this area that's causing the extra angst, and because it's getting in the way of her enzymes digesting the food. And pancreatitis is tied to enzymatic issues, which Adrian and Jay could talk about in the after party. But there is definitely a knot going on in here that is at an emotional level that she's feeling also from you. So I hope that helps with that answer, that part of the question.
Yeah, no, that was lovely. And thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm sure both of our solar plexuses need some work. But I'm also hearing that Zaina wants me to quit my job because that's the miserable part. So
there you go.
But awesome. Thank you very, very much.
And Brooke, it's no coincidence that this is happening between Phoebe being so in touch with the depth of her soul and the fact that my cat Hockey Puck, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have quit my job and done what I'm doing now. So there's a link here between like our animals actually fostering for us, thinking about how do we have a more balanced, healthy life. And if you really hate that job, there's definitely emotion stored in your solar plexus about that needs to really be looked at and breathed through. She says you're worthy of whatever it is that you want, as opposed to thinking you have to work so hard so that you think you're worthy. Does that make sense?
It does. Okay. Zaina, you're a good girl.
She's very insightful.
Thank you. I love it. That was awesome.
You're welcome. And she's a beauty. Okay, so we are going to go to the next partnership, which will be me and Paula. And let's see, I've had a couple of people that I've been hovering around, but I've been going back and forth, but I think Suzanne. Suzanne, would you like a reading?
Sure, thank you.
Yes? Okay. And I had a feeling about you earlier, and then you shut your camera off, and I was like, oh no. And then you turned it back on. So I'm like, shoo.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, Suzanne. So who's your baby?
I have Marley. She's alive. She's a girl and a domestic short hair.
And a cat. Okay. And what is the question that you have for Marley?
I would like to know, what can I do to help her be more comfortable? Or what does she need from me? Kind of, I think, physically things going on with her. What can I do to help her?
Okay, so I just want to make sure we've got the question right. So from a physical perspective, you want to know what you can do to help make her more comfortable?
Yeah. Yeah. Health-wise.
Health-wise. Okay. And physical. All right. So give us a second to connect with Marley. Okay.
She's showing me right away a bowl of soft food. I don't know what that's about, but that was the first. While Karen was still speaking, all I could see was a bowl of soft food.
Okay.
Nothing chunky, soft, smooth, almost baby cereal type.
Mm.
Does that make any sense to you, Suzanne?
Yeah, she also likes like the gravy and morsels and things typically. She likes the food usually that has gravy in it.
Okay.
But yeah, I've recently tried some things that are maybe more, let's talk about being in a hydrating gel or something. So
Oh, okay. All right. Maybe that's what I was seeing.
So I asked Marley, what do we need to know that would make you more comfortable physically and health-wise? And as soon as I asked her that question, I got some pressure in my upper back. Like I needed somebody to adjust my upper spine in the thoracic area. So that's kind of the upper middle of the back, kind of where women have bra straps, like that area. I also got a feeling from her, and I feel it now. I feel extra warm from her. And I don't know if you know anything about acupuncture before I go into this. Do you know? Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So her immune system seems to be overreacting to something a little bit because the triple warmer meridian in my paws here is warmed up all up through the back of my head. And I actually do feel like I might be slightly dehydrated. There's a little bit of pressure in my head that sometimes is a sign for me of slight dehydration, which can go very unnoticed in cats. So it might be something to think about as far as the quality of the moist food that you're giving her. And I absolutely am feeling like I could use somebody to help open up my shoulder blades and upper middle back. Like there's some stiffness going on in there. So does that make sense to you, Suzanne?
She's sometimes she doesn't like her back touched like too much. Yeah. So yeah, I mean maybe if I could find an acupuncturist or maybe
acupuncturist, chiropractor, somebody who can kind of take a look at that upper middle back and between the shoulder blades and see if something might be stuck or out of whack. Also, I'm feeling like it may stem up into the upper part of her neck as well. Like this might be tight, which is causing this to be tight, which is adding to the kind of the slight discomfort. Is because I also feel like I can't jump the way I'd like to jump. That's the other thing.
And every time I think of her, it's almost as if I have a fever. My head gets so hot. But for me, it's just my head.
Yep.
And she's also showing me sitting in a chair, a soft chair, or a family room chair, that type of chair, but no pillow. The pillow is almost painful. So she's showing me sitting on something that has somewhat of some give to it. It's a cushiony thing, but totally flat, no bumps, no lumps, no curves to it. Does that make sense?
She moves around. She doesn't, she sleeps in different places. Yeah, I mean, one time I bought a cat bed. She has never slept in it.
Yeah, they never do they?
Exactly.
Not when you want them to, anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it was the flat that was. Oh, excuse me. It was the flat that was important.
Okay.
And I would check with an acupuncturist. If you can find a really good animal acupuncturist, I would check with them and have them check her pulses and check the meridians. If her blood tests and everything are fine, there just seems to be something overwarming her, and that center of her back thing potentially is stuck. And I don't know why she's bringing me to the top of her gums here and into her sinuses. So I'm not sure.
And here.
Yeah. So under the gums, if you're seeing any red line here at the gum, even if the teeth look good, there might be something going on up under the gums that could be making her head warm. So
okay, she does not like to be like manhandled. I mean, I can pick her up, but she doesn't like me fussing with, like even with her teeth, her mouth, she wouldn't like that.
Yeah. So while she's relaxed, just take one little finger and just do one side, just lift it up. Just see if you can see if there's red here, because there may be something going on with the heat in the head and the sinuses. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, she's definitely doing this for me. Like, get this fixed, Mom. Get this fixed. And she says, and I did just hear her say, I love you.
Oh, okay. She's very aloof, so
yeah, but she does.
Sometimes hard to tell. I know she does, but
yeah.
Aloof people love also.
Yes,
that's right.
That's so funny. She made sure to make sure you heard "I love you," especially probably because she's so aloof. So, just know she does have her heart is there for you.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
You're welcome. I hope that was helpful.
Yes. Mhm.
Okay. So as we're wrapping up this reading, we just want to remind you that we are going to be closing down the raffles in case you wanted to try to win a prize with the ladies, the two crazy cat ladies, or a private reading with one of us. So quick last call at the end of the night before you have to all go home. And I'm going to hand it over to Meredith and Phoebe.
Hey, Phoebe, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So I have a couple of people. Is there anyone in particular that you're drawn to, or you want me to take it? You take
You
it.
take it.
Me take it?
Yeah.
Anna. Anna, are you open to having a reading this evening? Anna nods yes, enthusiastically yes. Hang on, I got to flip to another page. Okay, Meredith and Phoebe are reading for Anna. Is it Anna or Anna?
Anna.
Okay, good. So Anna, what is your animal's name?
It's Pow Pow. P-A-U-P-A-U.
Pow, Pow.
Boy, a male, and alive. Cat, of
Cat?
course. Yes,
A cat, of course.
of course.
Okay, and what is your question for Pow Pow?
I'm trying to figure out how to word it correctly because it sounds really mean.
We'll help you.
Why is he a bully? Why is he so mean to everybody?
Isn't that interesting? We have another bully question going on here. How do you want to ask that, Phoebe? What does he need us to know about the behavior that he's exhibiting? He's trying to get a point across, clearly.
Yeah, I think that works.
So I will jump right in and say that when I get into a reading, I always get something from the name. I mean, I pull in information in all different ways. I see, hear, feel, touch, taste, smell. I get feelings in my body. I get downloads of knowledge. I get Bugs Bunny and Star Wars and Monty Python references. It comes from everywhere. So I got two things immediately. When you said pow pow, I went straight to pow pow, like Batman with the word bubbles. Bam, biff, pow. And then the second thing I got was, I told y'all I'm down here in Tupelo, Mississippi. There's an old folk song called Way Down Yonder in the Paw Paw Patch. Are you familiar with that? Anna's laughing.
I'm from the South. I'm originally from Texas, so I understand.
Okay. So there's this whole thing with paw paws when something about the frost and when you open them up, is it paw paws? Am I right? And the thing on the inside, the seed on the inside looks like a fork, a knife, or a spoon, and that predicts the weather. So Pow 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 is showing me some links to tradition, superstition, and also nonsense, because I'm also getting a lot of silly childhood songs that are just nursery rhyme songs, that there's a link to some music, some tradition that doesn't have to make any sense. The message I'm getting here is it doesn't have to make any sense. But there's a connection. I'm going to come back around to the pow, pow, biff, bam. But Phoebe, you go right ahead.
Okay, so I get that he was handled roughly, especially early on, and he had bad encounters with both animals and humans. And this is sort of like they say, abusers are usually the abused ones. And I'm not saying this is horrendous trauma, but it doesn't feel like he had what he needed. And he just wasn't, he was treated in a way that he became very defensive. And that's partly how he knows how to act. Do you know anything about his history?
Not a whole lot, but he is a rescue. Well, technically he's still a rescue. I'm just a foster mom, but he's been with me for a few years now, so yeah, technically it's a foster fail until somebody really wants him. But yeah, he came from the streets of Hawaii. That's actually where I live now. So yeah, it's definitely.
So you're from Texas and you know the
Yes.
Paw Paw reference and you know the
Yes.
song, and you're in Hawaii.
Yes.
with a street cat. Okay. That's really interesting. Do you have a connection to history, tradition, storytelling, songs? There's some connection here. But now I'm also seeing, of course, you've said Hawaii, but I'm also seeing the dancing and the singing and the all of the traditions that are handed down. There's something about the history, the connection to his history that he appreciates and respects, but doesn't necessarily embrace. I think a lot of us probably come from cultures where we recognize that our history is important. We need to know what it is. We need to be aware of it. We need to attempt not to repeat it, but we also don't have to dwell on it. Connect to the important traditions, be aware of, but do not cling to the problematic pieces of it. Does that make any sense to you?
Yes.
What else you got, Phoebe?
I mean, he's not interested in being looked at as a victim. And there's a tie here to you about you had to be your own advocate. There are a lot of people were not nice to you, especially growing up. People were just cold and disrespectful and didn't consider your feelings and spoke to you in a very nasty way. And I'm getting that there's something here where even though you're annoyed by him and you want his behavior to change, on some deep level, you can understand or empathize because you know what it's like to want to lash out, even though you're a human and you live in a civilized world. There's something he's mirroring that's happened to you.
I can see that.
Thank you, Phoebe, for reminding me of the actual question because he was throwing so much information at me that I didn't really ask him the question yet. It's tied to the responses that he's given already. The standing up for yourself, acknowledging the hard times, not necessarily latching onto them, not carrying forward this is such an ugly thing to say, some victim mentality, not being identified by, not allowing yourself to be identified by things that may have happened to you or around you or in your presence. But again, the acknowledgement and the recognition and the moving forward from that. He is learning the process of shaking the shit that's not his responsibility, that he's been blamed for. But there's a process that he's going through with that. This feels really deep to me. He's learning how to move through his lowercase t or capital T trauma and the things he's been blamed for or labeled for or talked about for that may not actually be his responsibility. I don't know if that's making any sense to you. This is just
Honestly, it makes a lot of sense, and when I can explain, I will. When you look, yes.
Anything else you got there, Phoebe?
No, I'm good.
Okay. I don't know if that came out the way that it should, but Anna, do you want to give us just a quick sentence or two as you're comfortable of what that might mean to you?
Honestly, it made a lot of sense because he, like I said, he is to me right now he's a foster fail because he is a foster and he's been with me forever, it seems like. And he was fostered out, like twice now. And the first time is when he came to us, was the first time. The second time we fostered him out, and the couple decided to split, and one went back to the mainland, and one stayed here, but that one stayed here didn't want him, and kept blaming the cat, blaming Pow Pow for their other cats for a situation that I don't even remember because it's been that long. And so hearing that, I'm like, yeah, you know, yeah. So with being here though, he's just one of multiples that I have in this house, which I
Yeah.
can't say right now. But yeah, he was blamed a lot before coming back to us from this couple that just the only yeah. Okay. I have nothing nice to say about them, but I will try to respectfully not say nothing at all.
Well, as Phoebe said, there's some connection to you here and some feeling of, maybe having been blamed for some things yourself or told that you were responsible for situations being a certain way. Whatever it is, pay attention. Is that Papa right there?
No, this is actually one of my I just rescued this guy from the shelter not too long ago. This is George.
Hey, George.
I need
George.
a George in my life.
Yeah.
No,
So
Pow
you and
Pow's
Pow
actually
Pow spend a
go ahead.
little time paying attention to each other.
Mhm.
And there's certain feelings he's going to bring up in you that, when you're feeling that he's exhibiting a certain behavior that may be bothersome to you, check in with yourself. See where you are in that moment. There's a mirroring, modeling relationship going on there, I feel like. Do you agree, Phoebes?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff that they both have inside of them that is it's coexisting. I mean, there's a lot of duality here. There's a lot of beauty and lightness, and then there's a lot of heaviness and darkness.
I agree.
Thank you. I can honestly see that. I weirdly can.
Well, thank you, Anna, for sharing that with us. I know it can be sort of a vulnerable place to be to put some of that stuff out there, but
We're
hold
here.
space for you and Papa. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, have we got time for another one?
I think we have time to get one more in. We usually try to get through 6, but we're going to try to get through 7 tonight because we have a little bit more time and it's you and me, Meredith. So
All right,
do you,
Karen, you pick them.
me, are you sure?
Yeah.
Is there anyone you're leading toward that's really tapping you on the shoulder? No? Should I pick? Are you ready?
I'm kind of relying on you.
All right. Nicole M. Would you like a reading, Nicole?
Nicole, wave your hand. I can't see you. There she is. Hey.
Okay. Yep. So I feel like a little paw came out of the side and went when
Can
I
you
was
unmute
seeing you.
yourself,
So
Nicole?
can you unmute yourself? If we can help her.
Hey, sorry.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi. You up for reading?
Yes, please.
Okay. I know. I felt like this little paw was going, pick her, pick her. So what's the name of your animal?
It was hard for like if I got picked, it was gonna be hard for me to choose, but I'm gonna pick Mr. Miyagi.
Oh my God, I love that.
It's a male, and it's a cat. I think that might be obvious. And he's still with us. He's
Okay.
alive.
And what's the question you have for him?
I want to know just generally like how he's feeling right now. And if all of the effort that's being put into his care is worth it for him.
Okay. I can feel it. I could detect a bit of emotion in your voice when you asked that. Is that true? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So just give us a second to connect with Mr. Miyagi. I just have to say, I love that name, and I have to be honest. I'm watching bad TV, and I watched the new series Cobra Kai, which is so bad, but it's the new version of Mr. Miyagi, right? So it's just so funny that that's his name.
So
Okay.
I got to jump right in.
Go right in.
As I said, I always get something from the name. I am of the era. I grew up with the original Karate Kid, Ralph Macchio, all of that kind of stuff. Mr. Miyagi. What I'm feeling from Mr. Miyagi is the determination and frustration that Ralph Macchio felt while going through his training. I mean, it's kind of, and it's also taking me back to like the Rocky movies. You know, he's working his ass off. He's doing all these things. You paint the fence, you know, wax on, wax off, all of that kind of stuff. And he's feeling real pissed off that this guy is pushing him to do these things because he doesn't yet have an understanding of what it is that he's being pushed to do. But he recognizes that the underlying part of the fact that this thing that's happening is for a larger picture. I don't want to say the greater good because that implies that Karate Kid was more important in the universe than it probably actually was. But working hard now, doing these things that seem ridiculous to do something bigger. But then the next scenes that I see are Mr. Miyagi with his little bonsai tree, the precision, the clipping, and you remember the scene with the chopsticks catching the fly? There's precision. There's precision. And what this question is showing me is targeting something very, very small and not understanding how important that is in this big umbrella. But then I also see that crane kick and Ralph Macchio doing that thing with that broke foot and kicking ass with it. So we're going from teeny tiny to great big to actually applying this precision maneuver in the way that it was intended to be applied. I have no idea if that makes any sense to you.
I'm not sure.
Okay, well,
See
let's
what
see
Karen
if
brings
this
in.
helps. So when I ask Mr. Miyagi, what is the most important thing for you to know right now, Nicole, about how he's feeling and all the effort you're putting in for him? First of all, I'm getting that he, at a soul level, he's very grateful because he feels how much care you have for him. And no matter what the end outcome is for him, it's really important to have had all the love and care that you're putting in for him is what's actually really important for the two of you, so that when the time comes for closure, you will feel like no stone was left unturned, because he has touched your heart in a way. He's showing me he has touched your heart in a way that's very deep for you, isn't it? And he's so grateful for your efforts and your persistence for him. And the lesson here is about, he's showing me the lessons here is about persistence for you on a broader level, around just understanding that the impact of your effort actually sometimes means more than the outcome. Does that make sense to you? He knows how much love you have for him, and he's showing it to me almost like a rain shower, like a beautiful misty rain shower that's just coming down on him, and he knows you're trying to wash away all the stuff that's going on with him. And I'm just getting the sense from him that some of this may not be fixable. And I do feel something here, like I have a little bit of a hard time breathing sometimes. Does this make sense to you? Like in my heart feels like it's pattering a little bit more than I would prefer. Does that make sense? But he says you're giving him more time. And for that, he's grateful, because you and he, there's something about this persistence between the two of you that is a pact that you made from before you were together. And you promised to be there for each other. Ooh, getting to me too. You promised to be there for each other no matter what the outcome is. And so you're holding up your end of the bargain, and he is just so grateful for that. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
So with the utmost care and respect for your situation, I do have to come back to Karate Kid. And I don't mean for this to sound disrespectful, but the focus of this training was on something super, super precise. It feels like there was a one thing that you felt like you were focusing on, laser pinpointing on. I'm hearing radiating on. It feels like maybe there was a treatment involved. But this one thing that seems so small actually has affected a much larger picture. And that the process of deciding what to do about this one small thing has opened up a whole world. I'm seeing it like an umbrella, like a rain umbrella, a whole world of other things for you to consider, and that he is working with you on the small, the medium, and the large under this umbrella. You don't have to go outside it for now. Just this portion. Let's work on these lessons, and he's going to help you in that process through whatever it is you're going through together. So start here, and then you can maneuver to a patio umbrella, a beach umbrella. There's a lesson here that's going to be clearer and much larger for you in a beautiful way that started from a laser focus on something small. Does that make any sense to you?
Yes. Thank you. Sorry, I was just very emotional about him.
Oh yeah. And what is going on? I can feel it here in the chest, but I can't tell if it's heart or lung. There's something going on here. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Ignore that thing.
He's had a lot of different health issues, but most recently, he's started heart medication for rapid heartbeat, and yeah, and he has issues like with his blood. He had diabetes. Like he's just had and there's like suspected like cancer. So there's just like he's a very complicated cat. He's my foster cat too.
Yeah.
So.
I did ask him, is there cancer? And I get the sense there may be something going on here, but it's affecting the heart. And so I'm not sure if it's in the blood or if it's actually next to the heart. It's pressing on the heart and making it beat a little bit too fast. But I am hearing that eventually Nicole is going to transition to palliative care for him. But right now you are giving him more time, and he greatly appreciates that. And you it's funny because you call him your foster, but you're his person. He really loves you and you're his person, and he's so grateful to have had this time with you. So and I see this little paw just reaching out to you with such love. And there's something about this in an education for you too. Are you learning about stuff around animal health at this point? Because he says he's your teacher in this realm as well. Does that make sense to you?
I just started going back to school to get my vet tech degree.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So
Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah, he is your Mr. Miyagi.
And you're pissed off and you're frustrated that Mr. Miyagi is making you do stuff because of reasons you didn't want to do it, but it's going to serve you in the long run. And
Okay.
him too.
He's telling me, yes, vet tech, this is going to sound really crazy, but see if you can look into adding animal acupuncture to your knowledge. Does that make sense to you? There's just something about this that is like, yes, vet tech and there's something about understanding the energy of what's going on that is going to bring you way further in your career. And his job is to guide you toward that, so that you have a broader knowledge about the energy of stuff, not just feeling frustrated by trying to apply stuff and none of it working. Does that make sense to you? He's quite a teacher for you. So I'm sorry that it's through this kind of a thing, but he's really proud of where you're going to take this.
Thank you.
And he says, no matter what, I'm not leaving you. Even when I don't need the body anymore, I'm still not going to leave you. So I hope that helps. And I'm really sorry for what you're going through. I've been through it myself. So, I mean, we all have. We're all animal communicators because we couldn't take the animals being in pain or one of our fur babies being in pain and not being able to help them on some level or connect with them a little bit more so we understood. So just take care of yourself through this as well as just really appreciate your time with him.
Thank you. He I wasn't his initial foster. I actually stepped in when he developed diabetes. And I was supposed to have him for a week, and it's been 7 months already. So
Yeah.
so I really do feel like
Yeah.
it was meant to be for some reason.
Absolutely. For a lot of reasons, including him being your teacher.
Thank you.
Well, we're giving you a big hug on that one. So you've got a lot of courage taking care of him.
Thank you,
So,
Nicole, for sharing
yeah,
that with us.
yeah. And so I think that takes up all of our time, you guys. And so we're going to hand it back to Megan. Right.
Wow.
Thank you all for being here for this. And we're handing it back to Megan.
Thank you guys so much. Wow, that last one, way to end the night. So amazing. Mr. Miyagi is actually a puppy kitty cat. So I couldn't have picked a better one. Just so amazing. And thank you everyone so much for your support. It really means the world to us. Now I'm getting a little teary. I don't cry. This was great, and I'm so thankful for all of your support and you ladies, Karen, Paula, Phoebe, Meredith, Jody. Thank you guys so much. This was really, truly touching.
Oh, you're so welcome. And so we want to go to the drawing, right?
Yes. Oh, I think I can share my
Yeah,
screen.
let me make sure you can. Wait. Allow. Okay, so let's see. Okay, that should work now.
Okay. Share.
Okay.
Let's see. Click to spin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this first one will be for an animal communication reading.
Am I going to be able to see this?
The name will pop up for you. There we go.
Oh, Miriam. I know Miriam. Yay.
Miriam's saying.
Okay. And I should remove all of her. No, she had a chance, so I'm going to remove her.
Okay.
Just one.
Oh, I removed
Just
all of them.
remove one. Yeah, because if she bought more, she could win again.
Okay. Second one for animal communication. Ellen Gazelle.
Hey, Ellen. Okay.
Okay. Next, animal communication.
She won again.
Ellen won twice. This is why you buy more than
Ellen.
one raffle.
Okay, Ellen again. Okay, one more. Another animal communication. Kim Winkler.
Kim Winkler's totally on my radar. Yay, Kim.
Mm-hmm. And one more for animal communication. Deborah Kraft. Okay, and now we have 3 prizes from the 2 Crazy Cat Ladies.
Okay. Oh.
Kristen, I know you, Kristen. Congratulations, Kristen Patrickan. Okay, and next 2 Crazy Cat Ladies prize coming up.
Candace.
Candace.
No, Candace.
Mine. And one more.
That was like a week spin. It's getting tired. Pam again.
Pam. She's got one of each. Wow, you guys, very lucky. These people,
Yeah.
Ellen and Kim. All right, so there's the prizes. Congratulations, everyone who won. We're so happy for you. So before we leave and move over to the chat with the 2 Crazy Cat Ladies, which is coming up next, we just want to remind you that if you liked what you saw tonight and you want to do a longer private personal reading with one of us and you didn't win from the raffle, if you book a reading with any one of us, Shay, me, Meredith, Phoebe, and Paula, within the next 8 weeks,
November 30th.
by November 30th, thank you, because I can't do maths. So by November 30th, we will give back 15% of the cost of that reading to Puppy Kitty New York City, and we'll continue to give. So just know that if you book a reading with us, we're going to give back 15% of the cost of that reading to Puppy Kitty New York City, because we want to continue to help them as much as we can, because Megan's doing such amazing, amazing things for the kitties and the dogs. And Megan will email the winners, right? And remind people about the readings. And so I think that's the end of the formal program. We're going to be moving over to the next Zoom in a minute, in 60 seconds, to chat with the ladies, Adrian and Jay. We cannot wait for that part. It's going to be super cool and fun. And so we will see you all who are coming forward with us to the next event in about 60 seconds.
And if you didn't get the link, just shoot me an email or a DM or something. But I think everybody should be good.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight.
Yes, yay. We'll see you guys
Yay, Puppy Kitty.
Thank you.
shortly.
Thank you all.
Thank you.